Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Louis. Louis is from England in the UK. So let's see what Louis has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Louis, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very, very good. Thank you for having me, by the way. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Happily. No, very happily. It's lovely to get this opportunity. So yeah, no, thank you. Feeling is mutual.
How's your day going so far?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Today's a very chill day today. I've got some rehearsal with my band later, so just been doing a little bit of practice here and there. Nothing too exhausting.
Amazing.
What about you?
It's been great. I was on holidays actually. I was on holidays, came back yesterday, and I'm feeling a bit. As you can tell, a bit of thumb. I've got a bit of.
It's just very exhausting, isn't it? Going away on a plane and stuff like that.
I think coming back, it's great. It's great to be back. I like to come back to my routine for sure.
Yeah, of course. Fair enough. It's always good to get back into order.
So tell me, where are you from, Lewi?
So I'm from the United Kingdom. The county is called Cambridgeshire. I'm in a tiny little town called Wisbech, which not many people would have heard of, to be honest. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
And that's the place where you're born and raised?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So I was born in the town just up the road from Wisbech, but that's only because Wisbech doesn't have a proper hospital. Otherwise, I'm born and bred in this town, yeah, so...
So tell me something interesting about your hometown. Tell me something that stands out compared with the UK or compare with the area where you live right now.
Okay, so we have a gentleman who was born in Wisbech called Thomas Clarkson, and he actually helped abolish slavery in I think it was the late 1800s. And we've actually got a big memorial statue of him, which was resurrected in the middle of the town centre. Well, not quite the middle, but yeah, so that's quite a notable feature of Wisbech town. In terms of architecture, it's quite old as well. It's either, I'm not sure if it's Georgian or Edwardian, but it's a very, very old school British kind of buildings and stuff. It used to have a roaring marketplace. It was a market town. We have like a river that kind of goes through the town called the River Nene, where, people would drop off, stock to sell on the market and stuff. So there's quite a bit of history there. Not so much these days, though.
And how far are you from London?
From London, if I get the train, it will probably take about an hour and a half. So it's not too bad. I can get there from one train and a bus, so it's not terrible.
I see. Yeah. Okay, Louis, so let's start the interview talking about your career as a musician. Of course, you have your guitar there. I can see your beautiful guitar.
So lovely, yeah. Thank you.
So tell me how music came into your life. Walk me through a little bit more about your career, how everything started.
So, I've kind of always been into music. I was kind of born into it. My mum and dad used to DJ in clubs in the local area. So they were into like a lot of electronic dance music, like early house, drum and bass, that kind of thing. All the stuff that was the vibe in the 90s. So I kind of grew up around that subculture, learned how to mix or learned how to beat match on turntables at an early age. So I think that kind of helped me with my knowledge for like more complex rhythms and breakbeat and stuff like that. In terms of my first instrument, that was the piano actually, which I don't do much of anymore. Yeah, I played piano for my first instrument. I used to learn random songs like Robert Miles, which was like dance music, classic piano hooks in there, a little bit of classical stuff here and there. So that was my main instrument for a long time, throughout high school pretty much. So I probably did that for like maybe 3 or 4 years solid. I didn't have I've never really had many lessons in these instruments. So I'm like kind of self-taught, but because of that, I lack a lot of the knowledge of the music theory side. Right. So yeah, piano was kind of my first thing. And then once I finished high school, I went to study music at college. And I actually changed to drums. I had a drum kit, which I got for Christmas one year before I started college, which I used to mess about on. And I originally signed up for college to play keyboard in the bands, but there was no drummers on our course. So I ended up picking up the drums and doing that instead. So I did that for a couple of years, and my main focus ever since has been the guitar. To be honest, I've kind of, yeah, fallen in love with it. I played a little bit in college, but just kind of messing around with one string, you know, nothing too crazy. And I messed around for a bit, and then one day I realized that I was doing it every day, and it just kind of subconsciously became my main instrument. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
So I've been doing that ever since. I think I've been playing guitar for about 9 years now. I studied
Wow.
guitar in university. I went to there's a seaside city called Brighton, which is quite
Okay.
close to London. And there's
Yep.
a university there called the British Institute, British Institute of Modern Music, not Royal Music. So I did 3 years there, lived in Brighton for 4 years, and I've only just really come home. So in terms of the actual career, I've done a bit of teaching on the side. I did some teaching of guitar and drums for children in primary schools for a few months since I've been back. I've had a few projects since I've been in uni. I've been in a band called Silver Bullet, and we've actually just released an album called Resist. I've also got a side project with a friend who's also in Silver Bullet. That's called Battlestar Commander, and we're getting an EP released for that as well. And at work, I actually work in a like a supported living home for people with learning difficulties and stuff like that. And us
Right.
staff members have put a band together out of the staff so that we can put on little shows in the garden and have a barbecue together and just have a nice event for everyone there. So I've got
Amazing.
a few random things going on, a few things in the pot
Oh.
there. Yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell.
And do you sing as well, Louis? You know, you just play the guitar.
I wouldn't say that I sing like, well, not professionally. I wouldn't say I play guitar professionally either, to be fair. But a lot of people are always saying that I should sing and that I've got a good voice and stuff. But
Yeah, your voice is very like as a singer. We're talking to you. Does your voice feel like a
oh,
singer?
thank you. Someone I worked with in a hotel once said that I had a really melodic voice, and I never really thought about it before. But oh yeah, I suppose so. I guess so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you could explore this area as well for sure. You could give a little bit of time for that for sure as well. I think.
Yeah. I'll have to put it into the forefront a bit more. I should. I agree. I should really. I should.
Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your career so far. Okay.
Of course, yeah. Ask away, my friend. Ask away.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
I think so. Yeah. I'm sitting as comfortably as I can be.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question. Okay?
Oh, fantastic. Okay. I like the sound of that.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Yeah, sure thing. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right, first question is, if you could spend the entire day with a family member, who that would be and why?
Ooh, with a family member, that would probably be my little sister Alice. She's
And why?
she's just a beautiful soul, an absolutely beautiful soul. She's very, very creative, really, really artistic, and she's just got a good view of the world. I think she's an absolute sweetheart. Bless her. So, yeah.
Okay, so your sister is watching this interview right now. When you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message, what would you say?
I'd just say, let me start. Hello, Alice. Stay strong. You know, everything's going to be okay. There's always a good ending. Sometimes it takes a while to get there, but just keep being yourself and don't worry about what anyone else thinks, because comparison is the thief of joy, and it's beautiful when you're full of joy. So stay happy. Okay.
Oh, sweet.
And I love you. I love you.
Oh, beautiful. And saying that, Louis, through your career as a musician, of course, you had your parents already connect with music. Did you have their support regarding your music?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think they always knew that I had kind of a thing for music. My mum was always very supportive growing up, and she would do what she could with what she could afford, in terms of getting me like musical toys. Like I remember very vividly, I had a little keyboard with like keys on it. It had a little deck on there, what made noises like that, and a little horn. And yeah, I've always had stuff to let that passion grow at a young age. And I think when you're doing music specifically, the hardest thing about it is the amount of time you have to pour into it in order to become competent, you know.
Right.
And when you're a child, that is the most time you've got. Obviously, you go to school, but you know all of that's the most time you're going to get. So I am very very grateful that I had that time to work on my skills before real life hits, and you know you got to get a full-time job, and so yeah, they've both been very very supportive in that regard.
Wow, amazing. Good.
Yeah,
Next question. Let's do it.
lovely.
Yes, you can always dance with
Um,
me. Right.
I'll
Next
try.
question
I'll
is,
try.
what's the best and the worst of being yourself?
As in me specifically.
Yeah, being you. What do you like the most about being you, and do you find what's the worst about being yourself?
Oh, I'm gonna give you the same answer for both, but I'll explain. I think it is being an empath, right? Because it's interesting. Obviously, being empathetic, you automatically consider it to be a good quality because you think about others, you consider others. But sometimes doing that, it can take a piece of you with it, because if you're giving something so much that you're not going to receive back, it feels like a double-edged sword. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I'm going to say being an empath. Not everyone is an empath. So sometimes, unfortunately, you can waste energy on other people, and you end up feeling like you have lost a bit of yourself because of that. You know what I mean? It's
Totally.
a very hard thing to gauge, I think, and not everyone's very nice in this world. So
Totally, I understand your point. I think,
yeah,
you just want to give the best of you, but sometimes people they're not ready for it sometimes,
yeah. You can't what is it? You can't draw blood from a stone. You can't expect
Totally.
everyone to be on the same page as you. So
Absolutely. And
yeah.
saying that, tell me a life lesson that life has taught you that you feel very grateful for.
A life lesson. I mean, university was a big part of my life. In the town where I grew up, it's a very, very small town. There's not a lot going on, really. There's not much for like people to do in terms of people in the community. So moving from a small farmland kind of town all the way to Brighton, which is basically London next to the sea, that was a very eye-opening experience for me, in the sense that there are so many different kinds of people there. It's very diverse. You get to learn a lot about different subcultures and just people's cultures in general. People are a lot more open-minded. Yeah. Everything from going to live there was a big experience, and I learned a lot from that. In a sense, though, I also learned how hard it can be. Very expensive place, Brighton, and I definitely struggled. Going to uni at the start of COVID was, in hindsight, probably not the best decision, but I don't regret it at all. But it's
Right.
definitely taught me a lot about how hard it can be, and resilience, perseverance, that kind of thing.
And sometimes you just learn going through it, you know what I mean? And if you wasn't this way, maybe you wouldn't learn, maybe it would be easier. So sometimes it's good for you to go through the stuff or
That's the
difficult
thing.
situations. Yeah.
Yeah, someone could tell you the same story, and you could understand them and try and relate to them, but unless you've been through it yourself, you're never fully going to understand, are you? That's the thing.
Cool.
Yeah,
Next.
yeah, man.
Okay, before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a musician? What do you like the most about it? And the opposite, what do you find most challenging about your career?
That is such a good question. My favorite thing about being a musician, see, for me, it's hard to answer because I would feel lost without music. Music is something that I've kind of always felt connected with, if that's the best way to explain that. So that's a really hard one to answer. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have music. It's just kind of so, I don't want to sound pretentious, but it is so like normal to me now, in the sense that I've done it for so long, to a point where you can't even really listen to a song without analyzing the hell out of it now, you know. It's like, oh, what's that doing? What's this doing? You're breaking it up in your own head. You see all the layers. So yeah, for me, I love music because I am just so passionate about it. It's just the thing for me. But the challenging thing is that there's many stages to being a musician, and after going to university, that was the first time that I was ever in a class full of people with the same, with the like-mindedness, you know, and that gave me a lot of perspective because it made me feel very, very small. It's like, oh wow, I'm not the only one here. You know, there's a lot of people trying to do the same thing as me, and that can be a challenge. Just I guess trying to keep up with the herd, so to speak. Guitar or any instrument really. The more you delve into it and the deeper concepts you look into, the harder it gets to keep up or get to the next stage. It's kind of like a non-stop cycle. Do you know what I mean? You can learn as much as you want to learn, really. It's never ending. Which is a blessing and a curse, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Next, please. What's your favorite guilty pleasure TV show?
Probably The Office, the US version. I've recently binged through that. I watched it a long, long time ago, and then I recently got my family into it, and we've all developed such a deep love for Michael Scott. Oh, he's a beautiful man. He's a troubled man, but he's a beautiful man. Yeah. What about you? What about you?
My guilty pleasure TV show. Interesting question. I don't watch TV very often. You know, I'm a movie. I love going to the cinema every weekend. It's my therapy of the week. I love. But somehow, you know, sometimes I like to watch, like when I'm on YouTube, editing interviews and kind of loading. So I just go on my phone and I put those trash TV, like something from the 80s back in Brazil. I'm originally from Brazil. And sometimes I watch those videos, like old videos. I have this tendency to watch those old videos from TV. So yeah, that's my trash TV that I like to watch sometimes. Not very often, cool. But
do you think there's a nostalgia aspect to that while you watch that kind of stuff? 100%. Makes you feel at home, like yeah.
It comes from there because you know, I've been away most of my life. You know, I lived in Europe most of my life since I'm back to Brazil. And when I watch those 80s videos, I'm like, my God, it looks so real for me, like so different. That when I was a child, so you know, those soap operas, like soap operas back in Brazil. It's so big in Brazil, and it brings those memories for sure.
Yeah, I understand that feeling 100%, mate. Definitely.
Next question, let's do it. Next question for you is, what is the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
Oh, do you know what? I don't think I've ever thought about that. Most romantic thing. Most romantic thing.
Do you consider yourself to be a romantic person?
I think I am when I've got a romantic other. I'm not with anyone at the minute, so it's not something I've even really thought about for a long, long time. I don't even know how I'd answer that. The most romantic thing someone's done for me. Probably when, this was my ex-girlfriend now, but when I was with her, she bought me a multi-effects guitar pedal. I'd only been playing guitar for about maybe 3 years solidly at that point. And something as silly as this multi-effects pedal was an absolute game changer. It helped me understand a lot. It's a weird thing to say romantically, but it's one of those things where you don't get someone the gift because of the value of the gift. It's about the what's the word?
The gesture.
Yeah, exactly. Sentimental value.
Sentimental, for sure.
So, yeah, probably that. I can't really think of anything else, to be honest, William, but probably that, I guess.
What's the meaning of love for you, Lewi?
Meaning of love? Just that's a good question as well. Just I think we're all looking for someone or something. There's a lot of people who feel lost in this world, and with things like social media,
Yeah,
there's a lot for people to compare themselves to. So it's easy for people to, you know, not think they're worth love. I think love can be very simple in terms of the values you should have for it, whereby, you know, just commitment being one thing, you know, being there for someone through thick and thin, just traditional kind of values for me, really. Nothing overcomplicated. I don't want exclusivity, you know. You've got to be in it and all in it, you know.
tell me something as you
Answer or not, but
say again. Sorry, what did you say?
I don't know if that was a good answer or not, but
They're not right or wrong answer. It is just what it's about. That's
yeah, that's
tell
true.
me something. As you mentioned about, you know, you are single right now, you know, talking about love. When you put yourself in a dating world, yeah, what's something
Right.
about a person that gets your attention straight away, that you go like, okay, that could be something more special than a date. There's something about it that when you kind of are connected with someone, you know, in a very early age, there's something that gets your attention straight away.
I mean, God, that's a very hard thing to pinpoint. I think there's quite a few factors really when it comes into it. I mean, people say don't judge a book by its cover, but everybody does it all the time without thinking about it. Do you know what I mean?
It's normal, yeah. It's something normal for you.
Yeah.
What gets your attention is the image. They cover the book. You know, it's normal.
Yeah. So like, without just going to image, like you say, things like, you know, how you carry yourself. Confidence is always a big one, but I don't think that's necessary. I think it's only since I've gone to uni and come back that I've really gained some confidence. I've been a shell of a man for the majority of my life, I'd say, and it's only now that I'd really say that I've gotten better with that, and I'm more socially adept, whichever the word is. So I don't think confidence is necessarily it. Sometimes you meet the right person and you just bounce off of each other, don't you? Like, you don't even have to think about not talking. It's so natural. I guess something like that. Someone who's easygoing, who doesn't necessarily take life too seriously, but also has a passion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A passion. You know, life is hard, and a lot of people just want to get through each day as quick as they can, but we need something to look forward to. For me, it's getting home and playing my guitar, or even listening to music on the walk home from work. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Some people might like wait all day, finish their office job, and get on the easel and paint a lovely picture.
Absolutely.
Passion. I think passion. Yeah, that's probably the word for me.
I think passionate people, it attracts you. You know, there's something about when you see people expressing their passion, it's something very, it gets your attention for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you're kind of showing a piece of yourself, aren't you? Like how strongly you feel about something. When it's like that, yeah, amazing.
3 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, let's do a game right now. So let's pretend that if you could choose anyone, like any artist, for you to do a live duet with this person. Yeah, you play the guitar and this person sing. The second part of the question is, tell me someone that would love to open their concert. Yeah, you receive a call one day. You know what? I'd like you to play your guitar on this opening of my concert. And the third part of the question is, one person that would love to be in their, you know, in their album. Yeah, when a music, they call you, say, you know what? I'd like you to be on this track, this song with me. So tell me the 3 names.
Okay. Let's. Oh, wow. I don't know if I could give you 3. I could maybe give you 1 and 2. So for me, there's this very in the world of guitar players. There's a very popular guitarist called Guthrie Govan.
Okay.
And a lot of people say he is the guitarist. He is the guitarist's guitarist. Like he's just so influential in my life, especially. And he actually did a masterclass at university, so I got to meet him and have a picture. So he's probably my biggest influence. So I'd probably do a duet with him. I don't think I could play like him, but if I was able to play something with him, that'd be brilliant.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, being on an album with him as well would be insane in the best way. In terms of who would I get to come on stage with me, that is fascinating. That's just it's hard because I like so much different music, you know.
Okay.
And it comes in stages. It comes in stages. At the moment, I think I'm in my metal stage, which I haven't really been in since I was 13 or 14. But it's so difficult. There's a really good metal band I've been listening to lately called Meshuggah.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that would be amazing if they open for me. Yeah, I think that's my choice. I think that's my choice.
For sure.
We'll lock it in.
If you could be in somebody's place, in somebody's skin for 24 hours, for any reason, who that would be and why?
In somebody's place, well, like swap bodies with someone?
Yeah, for any reason. You could be in their place for, just to see their daily base, just to think the way they think, just to see, could be someone very different of you that you don't agree with. Could be for any reason. If you could be in their place for 24 hours, in their skin, which person that would be and why?
I don't want to keep giving you the same answers, but I think it would probably be Lewi Gallant again, my favorite guitarist, just because he is he's so influential in his field. And it's amazing because he's got this ability to mimic any other guitarist. It's like it's like his muscles. It's like he doesn't. I don't know. It's like his fingers just don't feel any resistance or anything. He's just insanely talented man. So yeah, I'd swap brains with him for the rest of my life if I got the opportunity to. To be honest. So yeah, probably him again.
And why is that? Why do you think you have this fascination with him, this connection? Of course, it's the way that he plays the guitar, but there's something about his personality, something about his character that you are a big fan of him.
I think with Guthrie, he is considered to be one of the best guitarists, but I think he's very humble with it. I think he's very humble with his knowledge as well. He's not like a gatekeeper of knowledge. Do you know what I mean? He's very much open to teaching you these concepts, and he's not holding anything back. So yeah, I really like that quality about him. There's a lot of guitarists who they wouldn't dream of telling you their secret technique, how I do this, how I do that. And you can kind of get it. If that's your trademark, then I totally understand. Like, keep your secrets. You've earned that right. But Guthrie he's just such a humble person, and he's one of the greats. So yeah.
Amazing. Very good. 2 questions left. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, next question for you is, what makes you most uncomfortable about yourself?
Most uncomfortable about myself? I feel like that changes every day, to be honest. For a long time, I was just, I struggled a lot with just my social skills, really. Anxiety has always been a big thing in my life. And like I said earlier, it's only been the last maybe even just 2 years that I've really started to come out of my shell again. Not being understood. You know what I mean? It's an interesting one. Like that thing I said earlier, you can't expect everyone to be on the same page. That is kind of a double-edged sword sometimes, because you can think one way and that can kind of be gospel in your head, can't it? But someone else would look at that and never understand it in a million years. Do you know what I mean? So simple thing. It doesn't have to be complicated either. Like just having a conflict of interest in, like, say, a movie that you like or something like that, or just, things like that, really.
If you're not yourself, would you like to be yourself?
Of course, but I mean, you could always ask the question, what does it mean to be yourself? We're always changing. There's a lot of influence in this world, especially with phones and social media. So we're always absorbing these different ideas and concepts on how people live their life.
Totally.
We're always changing, man. Like I say, I'm a different man to how I was 5 years ago. I'm gonna be, God knows what I'm gonna be like in the next 5 years. You know, who knows? Hopefully, okay.
Last question. Ready?
Yeah, lovely. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Last one. Amazing. Right, before the last question, I'm going to ask a question in two parts. The first part of the question is, tell me the feeling when you are playing your guitar. Tell me what's going through your mind or your spirit when you are there, perform your guitar. What's the biggest joy of it? And the second part of the question is, tell me a moment, you know, since you start your career as a musician, tell me a moment that you're never going to forget, that for you, always going to have a special place in your heart.
Okay, I will do. I already know the answer to the second one, I think. I'll tell you the second one while it's fresh in my mind. So my band from uni, Silver Bullet, we met at university. I joined the band later, so I only joined the band within our last year at uni. And we did one of the end of term gigs. So at this uni, they do like an end of term gig, and you could audition for it. You'd only play one song, but loads of bands would audition, and if you were good enough, you'd get to play. And we managed to get a slot in one of the end of term gigs, and we played it. And yeah, I never thought I'd experience emotion like that. There was a lot that night. It was the last day of uni. All of the students were there. We were all drinking, and it was very, very sad in a lot of ways because, you know, a lot of people would have moved back to their hometowns, or, you know, studying's over, real life's about to hit, guys, get ready, you know. So that was a very emotional moment. We'd get to the end of the night, all of the boys are sending each other videos, we're crying, we're like, oh my God, it was beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah, what was the first question again, Will?
What's the feeling when you are playing your guitar? Tell me something about it that brings the best of you.
So some of the better feelings. When I'm able to, like, some days it's hard to pick up your guitar and just get lost in it. It's not as easy to do that as it used to be when I just started. Because when you start off as a musician, every concept you learn is new to you, and you've got an excuse to practice these new concepts. So you don't always, or you're not always able to get into that zone where you can just play guitar and just feel it for what it is. For me now, it's more of a regimented thing whereby I'm practicing to improve. I'm not necessarily just playing to enjoy it. When I do get that opportunity, you know, I'll put on a backing track and I'll play something, and it'll be lovely. Sometimes you can get really lost in it, and I'll often record on my phone when I'm doing it so I can look back and be like, oh wow, that was actually good. Sometimes you can get a bit of a confidence boost when you're not watching everything you do so closely. If you let yourself relax a bit, sometimes you can benefit from that. So it can be a very, very joyous feeling. It can be very therapeutic, all of that really. But when it's not, it's very challenging as well. It depends on what I'm doing specifically, really.
I see.
To be honest.
Okay. Last question is, would you rather be invisible or be able to fly? And what would you do?
Would I rather be invisible or be able to fly?
And what would you do?
Well, they're both great. If I could fly, I probably wouldn't have to buy a visa, so that'd be a good one. I don't know. Maybe that. I don't know. They've both got their perks, haven't they? I think being able to fly would be a lot cooler Because if no one can see you, that's it. But if everyone can see you fly, they'll be like, wow, look at that guy. God damn, he's good. He can fly.
And if you could fly anywhere in the world right this moment, where would you fly?
There's quite a few places I haven't been to. I'd like to go to Japan at some point. That'd be lovely. Yeah, I find Japanese culture really, really interesting, and
me too.
Yeah, and their architecture, history. Yeah, that would probably be my go-to. Either that or somewhere really open, like New Zealand or something like that.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just have one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with money.
Shame.
Fear.
Ooh, dark.
Okay. Family.
I've got a word in my head, but I can't think of what it is. Unconditional.
Life.
Interesting.
Okay. Love.
One word. I'll say beautiful. I was going to say beautiful yet painful, but I can't put two hyphens in there.
Yeah, you can. I love it. Yeah, it's totally right. It's beautiful, but it can be very painful for sure. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. It's a spectrum, I think.
Religion.
Respectful.
Sex.
Sometimes.
Politics.
Politics, uninterested.
Friendship.
Everything.
Desire.
Music. It's got to be music.
A regret.
Oh, one word. Oh, one word. A regret. Believing.
Okay. Success.
Again. Horizon.
Okay. Wish.
Dreams, I suppose.
Happiness.
What can I say for happiness? Contempt. Well, not contempt, content. Sorry, not contempt. Content.
One word for England.
One word for England. Cloudy.
One word for music.
Everything.
And the last one now, playing the guitar. One word.
Just for guitar. What do I think about you? What do I think? Adventurous. Why not?
I love it. Right, let's pretend I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend. Define Lewi in one positive and one negative word only. What your best friend would say about you?
Ooh, so one positive and one negative. I think they would say that I'm very caring. But a negative. They'd probably say that I'm very caring, but I also care too much.
I see. What's your star sign astrology, Lewi?
Sagittarius. I was born in December. December the 3rd. I've actually got the same birthday as Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, amazing. You know what they say? Sagittarius, they have the biggest hearts compared with the other star sign astrology.
Oh, I didn't know that. That answers a few questions then.
It makes sense about your personality that you're saying that you're very caring at the same time as well. You can get hurt by because of that. So yeah, Sagittarius they have the biggest heart. So they give easily, you know what I mean? They are there. It's very emotions. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's like I said earlier. I mean, you can lose a bit of yourself in doing that, can't you?
That's my second one.
Yep.
My first one is I'm Scorpio, but my second one is Sagittarius, and I understand for sure.
Yeah,
let's play now, Lewi, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it. But before you ask me the question, when people come to see you playing your guitar, when you are performing, what's something that would you like people to take with them?
I'd love it if they could just see the passion, really, because I think passion can come through really well with music. There are some excellent musicians in this world. I mean, out of this world musicians, to be honest. And on paper, they can do everything. They know all the chords, that classic. They can do anything. They can shred super fast, but they don't necessarily play with feeling or emotion or passion, like I said.
Yeah.
So if nothing else, even if I was a guitarist who could only play Bar Bar Black Sheep, if they could see that I was playing that from my heart and soul, I'd be happy,
Amazing.
Yeah,
okay, can
man.
I get now, Lewi?
Okay, I mean, I've got one main question, and that is, are you happy?
My God, what a great question. What a great question. Lewi,
And why, I suppose.
Say again?
And why, I suppose.
Okay, I love the question, and I'm gonna tell you something now.
Okay.
My people who knows me very well, and I always had this happy vibe. I don't know where it comes from, I don't know how, but I always had this happiness inside of me that sometimes I even cannot control. I can become annoying sometimes. It's something about it that my previous relationship, there was always an issue. Just grow up, you are too child, just grow up a little bit. There was even friends sometimes, they go like, my God, Willa, you feel like you are over the place. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think happiness for me, right this moment, I could say yes, because when I'm here doing the Magic Box, is the best William you can have, because it's the happiest place for me to be. But saying that, understand that I'm not happy all the time. I have my times that I feel the worst, or the saddest, or I feel melancholic, and it's okay about that. But I can tell you, I am happy right now. I am happy because I'm able to do the show. I'm able to, to go to the cinema later. I love movies, so I'm going to see a movie later. So that things makes me happy. I think happiness, it's a place to be that's not never going to be always there, never going to be always the happiest. However, yeah, and it's necessary as well. But I can tell you, I think I'm happy right now. I think it's great to be in a place where you can express yourself, you can be yourself, you can do things that, when you talk about your passion about guitar, and I understand your point, because when you are expressing yourself through something that you like it, you feel happy, you feel the happiest. So I think, I can tell you that yes, not always, of course. And thank God, not always, because it would be boring to be happy all the time. However, right now, I can tell you that, yes, I am happy right now, for sure. Yeah.
Fantastic. No, that's fantastic. And I must say, it does shine through in your work, because with the videos I've watched of yours, they all have a certain vibe to it. It's very energetic and like uplifting. You can tell that you really enjoy what you do. It does come through. So
thank you, Lewi. And I think,
of course, very, very well done, by the way, as well, for doing this. It's not many people have the courage or the drive to even try to do something like this. So, like, good stuff, man. It's brilliant.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. And I think the show brings the best of me. The show, when I'm here, that's why it's visible on the clips, because even myself, I just, when I'm editing, that I go like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I react this way, because it's just me here, being here. And I just remember I'm recording when I look here, because if I don't look, I just keep going, because it's amazing, a great feeling. So thanks for the, I can tell you, I'm happy right now. I'm happy, and it's a great place to be. But I love it.
That is fantastic.
Did you enjoy the interview?
No, it's been great. Like, I've really enjoyed your company. I've really enjoyed the opportunity to be on your show. Yeah, it's been fantastic. Thank you again for having me, my friend.
Thanks again for having the time. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being so kind and accept my invitation. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Just do what you love. You've just got to do what you love. I mean, it's very easy to get sucked up in a capitalist world these days. When everything is so expensive, it's hard not to think about anything else. But do something you love. Find a passion, draw a picture, sing a song, write a song, learn an instrument, start a trade, anything. Find something that you can connect with in a positive way. I think.
Totally. Beautiful. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks again. Enjoy your day and keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, you too. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, keep in touch likewise. Message me if you want to do anything else. Let me know. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And enjoy your recording today with your band, okay? Enjoy.
I will do. Thank you. Oh, you got a great memory. Thank you, Will. You take care.
Take care. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye, mate. Good to see you.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.